Hello everyone, welcome to Miss Lee's class. Today we're going to learn how to solve equations using inverse operation. So I want you to look at the first problem. Here, warm-up problem here. So we're gonna use inverse operation to find x. So if you look at this question, to find x, what we have to do is to isolate x. Our final goal is always isolate x on one side. So I'm gonna isolate x on left hand side. To do that, what we want to do is canceling plus 2. To cancel plus 2, we have to do an opposite thing. So what's opposite of plus 2? That is minus 2. So we are going to subtract 2 from both sides. So if you remember, when you do something on one side, you have to do the same thing on the other side. So I subtract minus 2. I subtract 2 from left hand side, and I have to do the same thing on the right hand side. Okay, so since we cancelled plus 2 by subtracting 2, this will be cancelled. X will be isolated. And 6 minus 2. What is 6 minus 2? The answer is 4. So this is how you use inverse operations to solve equations. Look at the next problem. I have 5x equals 25. Okay, 5x equals 25. Something is hiding in between 5 and x. What is hiding here? Multiplication is hiding. So there is hidden multiplication sign. So when you rewrite it, it is actually 5 times x equals 25. And we're going to isolate x. Remember, our final goal is to isolate x. To isolate x, what you have to do is getting rid of 5, multiply by 5. So to get rid of this, what do you have to do? You have to divide both sides by 5, because opposite operation of multiplying 5 is dividing 5, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by 5. Both sides by 5. Okay, then this will be cancelled. And what I have is x equals 25 divided by 5, which is 5. Okay, and everyone remember, sometimes we use division bar instead of division sign. It's the same thing. So 5 division bar 5 is 5 divided by 5. And 25 division bar 5 is the same as 25 divided by 5. So when you use division bar, 5 will be cancelled, and the answer will be x equals 25 division bar 5 is just 5. So this is how you solve equations using inverse operation. So here, inverse operation undo or reverse each other's result. So addition and what are inverse operation? Right, subtraction. Multiplication and what are also inverse operation? Division. So remember, those are inverse operation. So when you cancel addition, you use subtraction. When you cancel subtraction, you use addition. Same thing, when you cancel multiplication, you use division, and when you cancel division, you use multiplication, right? Next, here I want you to take a look at this. So we've already did addition, and when you use subtraction to cancel -2, you have to add 2. And the answer is 5. And we've done multiplication. And here, what is division bar? What operation is it? It is same as division. Okay, to cancel dividing by 2, you have to multiply. Multiply by 2. Multiply by 2. So remember, whatever you do on one side, you have to do the same thing on the other side. So multiply by 2. Cancel, cancel. X is isolated. And the answer is 16. Alright, let's do the example questions together. Here, I have -15 equals -3. What's hiding in between -3 and x? Multiplication. So what we do is, our final goal is to isolate x. To isolate x, what we do is canceling -3. Canceling, multiplying by -3. Okay, so we do division. Divided by -3, divided by -3. Or, it's the same thing, we use division bar. Okay. This will cancel each other. It becomes x. X is isolated on one side. -15 divided by -3 is, so negative divided by negative becomes positive. Remember this. 15 divided by 3, 5. So the answer is +5. So x equals 5. Next, I have division here. To cancel the division, we have to multiply by 3, multiplied by 3. Then everyone, this will cancel each other. X will be isolated. What's the answer? -12. Okay, look at letter C. It looks a little tricky, but it's not really tricky if you understand how to do this. Okay, look at this. What's hiding in between the fraction and x? Right, multiplication is hiding. Multiplication is hiding. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide this number. Okay, so we're going to divide it by -4/5. Divide both sides by -4/5. Okay, so we use the inverse operation of multiplication to cancel this number. So x is isolated. And I have -20 divided by -4/5. So remember, you learn how to divide a fraction. Okay, what you do is you use keep, change, flip method. So you're going to keep the first number, change the middle, and flip the next number, -5/4, like this. Alright, after that, what you're going to do is you're just going to make -22 a fraction. And you know how to do this, right? So you multiply the top together and bottom together. Then that becomes 100/4. 100/4. 100 division bar for 4. That becomes 100 divided by 4. The answer is 25. So this is how you solve this kind of fraction, this kind of question. All right, D. I have 5 equals 15 over x. So everyone, this question is very special. So when you have x in the bottom, remember everyone, the first step 1, what you're going to do is you're going to make the left hand side to a fraction. So I have 5, so I'm just going to make it 5 over 1, 15 over x. Step 2. So you're going to flip both sides. So 1 over 5 and x over 15. So you don't want to keep your x in the bottom. So when you have x in the bottom, you always need to flip and make x in the top. Okay? So this is a special. So you have to move x to the top because we don't want to keep x in the bottom. Alright? By flipping both sides, you move the x in the top. So remember everyone, whatever you do on one side, you have to do the same thing on the other side. So when you flip one side, you have to flip the other side too. Alright? Okay, so next, what you do is the same thing. You want to isolate x and you have division here. So what you do is you're going to get rid of 15, divide by 15. So to do that, you're going to multiply both sides by 15, right? So we're going to multiply both sides by 15 here. And this will cancel each other, x will be isolated, and I have 15 times 1 over 5. And 15 is the same as 15 over 1. Then 15 times 1 equals 15. 1 times 5 equals 5. 15 over 5 is x. And 15 over 5 equals 3. So x equals 3. This is the answer. And if you understood how to solve this problem using this method, I'm going to let you know how to use a trick to solve this kind of problem. Alright? So I'm just going to rewrite the question here again. And everyone, when you have x in the bottom and a whole number on left hand side, remember this, you can always switch x and 5. So you can always switch those two things. When you switch it, you get x equals 15 over 5. Okay, what's 15 over 5? 15 divided by 5. That is 3. So you get the same answer. So once you understand how to use this method, you guys may use the trick. Use this trick to solve this kind of problem. Okay, next. So example 2. Solve the two-step equation. What's two-step equations? So far the equation we did was one-step equation. So there was only one step to solve the problem. But from now on, here in example 2, we have to do 2 steps to solve the equation. So look at this. I have 2x minus 4 equals 6. So what's our final goal? Our final goal is to isolate x. Alright, to isolate x, what we do is we have to isolate the term with x first. Okay, remember, I want you to write it down. Our final goal. To isolate x. So this is our final goal. So here, to solve the two-step equation, step 1, isolate the term with x. Step 2, then isolate x. Okay? Two-step equation. All right. We're going to isolate the term with x. Term with x. Term with x. Okay, we're going to isolate the term with x. Oh, this one? D. X. Remember, we're going to isolate the term with x. Okay, to do that, we have to get rid of minus 4. To get rid of minus 4, we add 4. Add 4. Right? Then I get 2x equals 10. And to get rid of 2, remember multiplication is hiding in between 2 and x. We divide both sides by 2. Both sides by 2. Then I get x equals 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, again, isolate the term with x. We add 4. Add 4. Then we get 9 equals 3 over 4x. Alright, everyone, multiplication is hiding here. So we are going to get rid of this. To get rid of this, we have to divide 3 over 4. So when you divide 3 over 4, when you divide the number by 3 over 4, that is the same as multiplying the fraction by 4 over 3. Remember, keep, change, flip method. So divided by 3 over 4 is the same as multiply by 4 over 3. Multiply by 4 over 3. And this will be cancelled. I have 9 times 4 over 3. Okay, so x will be 9 over 1. 9 is the same as 9 over 1 times 4 over 3. Okay, you can multiply the top together and bottom together, or let's use a shortcut method. The 3 is divisible by 3 and 9 is divisible by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay, now we reduce it first and then we're going to multiply. 3 times 4 equals 12. 1 times 1 is 1. So x is 12. If this is confusing, you just do it as we did before. So 9 times 4 equals 36. 1 times 3 is 3. 36 divided by 3 is 12. Alright? So either way, you can find the answer, which is 12. Okay, next, we're going to isolate this. To do that, we have to add 2. We have to get rid of minus 2. So we add 2. We add 2. Negative 7 plus 2 equals 5. X over 5. And everyone, negative 5, sorry. Negative 7 plus 2 equals negative 5. And what we do is we're going to multiply by 5, multiply by 5. Because you remember this? Division bar is same as division. Okay, then the answer will be negative 25 equals x. So the answer is negative 25. here I have 4d minus 3 equals 21. So we are going to isolate 4d by adding 3. Then that is 24 equals 4d. And divide both sides by 4. Then that becomes 6 equals d. d equals 6. d equals 6. Right, again, isolate the term with x. So subtract 9. 6 equals negative x over 7. So remember everyone, when you have negative sign in the middle, you can move the negative sign to the top or in the bottom. They are the same. So you can write it negative x over 7 or x over negative 7. So that is same as negative x over 7. Okay, they're all the same. So I just moved the negative sign to the top. Or you can just move it to the bottom, does not really matter. So let's just move it to the bottom. X over negative 7. Okay. Division. You're going to multiply negative 7 to get rid of the division. Then x will be negative 7 times 6, negative 42. This is the answer. Okay, look at example 3. A rectangle has length 3.5 centimeter and perimeter 29 centimeter. Okay, so when you have this kind of problem, it is always better to draw it. So you draw a rectangle and it says the length is 3.5 centimeter. And 3.5 centimeter. And what length is unknown, everyone? The length from here to here. The width is unknown, right? The width is unknown. We're going to let the width be x. And x. And you say x is the width. And it says, what's the perimeter, everyone? The perimeter is length around the shape, right? Okay, the length around the shape is 29 centimeter. That means when you add 3.5x and 3.5 and x, you get 29. Okay, let's add them up. 3.5 plus 3.5 plus x equals 29. Okay, so when the question asks you to write an equation, you always need to use an equation to solve the problem. Okay, 3.5 plus 3.5, what is that? Yes, 7. Plus x. Okay, everyone, those are like terms. We learn like terms, right? You have 1x and 1x. In total, you have 2x equals 29. All right. So we have an equation here. Now we're going to solve an equation. Okay, everyone, remember when you don't have any sign in front of a number, addition is always hiding, right? So you have hidden plus positive sign here. What you're going to do is you're going to get rid of this by subtracting 7. So remember, this doesn't belong to 7. This belongs to 2x, right? The sign of 7 is plus. So we subtract 7, subtract 7. Then what we have is 2x equals 29 minus 7 is 22. And let's divide both sides by 2. Both sides by 2. Then x equals 11. So we get 11. Now we're going to verify the solution. So this is the original equation. And our x is 11. So to verify the solution, you can just plug the number back into x. Okay, let's plug 11 into x. And that becomes 7 plus 2 times 11, because multiplication is hiding in between 2 and x. See if it is 29. 7 plus 2 times 11. 2 times 11 is 22. Right? 7 plus 22 is 29. Yes, this is the right answer and verified.